Well, the seeing seems to have cleared up.
Yeah, that's looking very good.
It's looking much steadier.
Well, there we are back on Sinus Iridium.
Yeah.
And did you know, just below that lower promontorium,
Yeah.
is Lunar 17 landed.
All right. Whereabouts?
About where one of those two craters is.
Right.
Over to the left.
Over here?
About there, yes.
Right. Pretty bleak place to land.
Yeah. It had Lunar on it, which was the one that went trundling around the moon, I believe.
Right. Should we look for some tracks?
I think you'll do well with the C11. And if you go over to the other side, to the to Laplace, and just a bit beyond it, about there where your cursor is now.
Oh, let me drop the. Yeah.
Where is your cursor? I can't see. Yeah, about there. No, down a bit between the second crater and the edge of the, is it Montes Recti or something?
What, these two here?
No, if you go across left and up a bit. Yeah, just a little bit higher. Okay, that's where the U-2-3 rover landed, the Chinese space mission. We can't see the tracks for that either.
And when was that?
That was, let me see. So I think 2018 was the far side lander. So I think it was about the year before, maybe 2017.
Right.
So U-2-3, no. U-2 rover and got what the other thing's called.
What we should do is try and find the Apollo 15 landing site. That was in this region. Have you got a map there with the...
I've got, yeah, I don't seem to have Apollo on it. Let me see if I can bring some more things.
I was thinking the saying, never work with children animals. We should add telescopes to that.
Definitely.
So there's the Alpine Valley again. That's that scar. And what some people might be, if I alter these settings, you can see there's like a donut thing here. That's an artifact. That's a piece of dust on the camera or somewhere on the optical train. And there could be others. So don't write in and say, we've made a discovery. It's just dirt. Let me alter the focus again. So...
Hadley Rill. Where's Hadley Rill? Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Right. It's, do you know where Archimedes is?
Have you got your map up in front of us, you?
Yes. Yes, I have.
Right.
So if you find Plato and come straight down from that.
Yeah. So we should be close here. Yeah.
Yeah, I think, oh yes. Yeah, so I think that's Archimedes, Autoclius and Aristillus. So yeah, Hadley Rill is down to the bottom right. Yeah, about there. About there. So that's Apollo 15.
Let me alter the focus a bit more. Yeah, the seeing's definitely calming down a bit. which is a surprise because the moon is now directly over one of my neighbour's houses.
Oh, so you got all the heat coming off that.
Yeah, which won't be helping matters.
No.
So if we follow the Alps down, they come to another very prominent ray crater. Can you work out what that one is?
Nope. Is that Copernicus?
Yeah, I was going to say his first name was Nikolai.
Ah, right. That's a good clue.
What was Tesla's first name?
Nikola Tesla. Is it?
Nikola, yeah. So yeah, probably I think the two most prominent ray craters are Copernicus and Tycho.
Apollo 16 is just below the crater below that, to the south.
So
Southwest, yeah, about there.
oh, which crater?
So the one just below Copernicus, yeah, you can see the two.
Those two?
Those are the ones, yeah, I think those two, yeah. So it's between that and the next big one. So between those, that's where Apollo 16 landed.
So if we go back to Copernicus, again, what we can do is I can go, where is the mapping software? Let me find, oh, that's, yeah. Let me go back to Quick Map and I'll zoom out a bit. And so we've seen Plato and we've been down here and we saw Archimedes, and we can probably zoom in.
That's Hadley Rill there, yeah.
Which is the Hadley Rill?
It's the one on the bottom there.
Hadley there,
yes.
So there's Archimedes. And then if we come down here, yeah.
Oh,
So yeah. Now, is the Hadley Rill, is that an old lava tube?
I think it is, yeah.
So that was a tube which lava flowed through it, very hot and very viscous. And over time, the roof of that tube has collapsed in. Our seeing won't permit us to have a look at that tonight. So we've come down the Alps, and we came to Copernicus. And we can see that Copernicus, it's not just got a central peak, just one, it's quite a complex peak system. And what I'll do is, if we draw a line through those, we can get the contour of that. So, where's the elevation data? So this line is 130 kilometers. That's actually wider than the crater. So we can just have a go at there. So 87 kilometers wide is the crater. And if we go back to our live data, we can get an idea that that is, you know, nearly 90 kilometers wide.
Yeah. What's that distance to Birmingham? More than that, I think.
Yeah. Which is 90 kilometers, yeah. I'm going to have a slurp of tea.
I got there's all sorts of stuff happening just below Copernicus. There's all sorts of bits and pieces that we've sprayed around the moon there. Apollo 16, I think that's the upper stage impact site. I didn't know they hit the moon. Apollo 12 landed lunar module, Apollo 13. So bits of Apollo 13 did get to the moon. That's the stage 4 impact site.
Right.
They're all sort of raining down there.
Well, it's pretty near the equator, I guess. Whether that's...
Yeah, no, all
that has
the upper stage, all the fourth stage boosters seem to have impacted around there. I didn't know that was the case.
Right, you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
So, is it possible to share 2 bits of screen at the same time?
You can share your whole display.
Let me have a go at that then. What are you seeing now? Just the moon?
Just the camera, I think, yes.
Okay. So, screen.
Oh, okay, now we've got camera and the Copernicus.
Good. So, what I was going to do is try and work out what this crater was on the Terminator. And obviously I have to keep adjusting the I'm trying to alter focus, handset and laptop. I was thinking
juggling your tea.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the tea's an important component. Right, so there's Copernicus.
Right.
So what I should probably try and do is rotate the camera a little to match.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Does that look better?
Yeah.
Another slurp of tea. And then let's go that way. So we can see those 3 craters. That's that one. And there's Enki. So that's
Kepler.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, let's get Kepler in. Yeah. So yeah, Enki and Kepler. And for those who don't know much about the moon, which includes Julian and myself, you'll see on the right here that we've got Enki, and then it's got Enki N, Enki G, Enki J. So family areas are named, are associated with the main crater, and adjacent smaller craters are given letters after subsets.
Yep.
So
got the same thing with Kepler a bit further up.
yeah.
Kepler A, B, up to T, I can see.
Let's try and get focus a bit better. I'm also trying to get my zoom feature back there. See if we can zoom in a bit on N key. And I've actually got a 9-volt battery for my focuser this time.
Oh.
Yeah, really spoiled myself.
Gosh, you know how to live.
Yeah. So it's not like terrestrial imaging where you just adjust the focus a little bit and that's it. This is a case of adjust it and see what happens. Because you have to observe. Yeah, observe, and because it's never going to stay perfectly in focus, it will drift around the focus. So here we should have N key.
Nice shadow on it.
Yeah. And the seeing's just changed again. I think probably just pushing it too much with the conditions. And this telescope has been inside the garage, so it's not properly cooled, which won't be helping matters. And if we increase the, in fact, that's we're now very much at the terminator. So we're not going to be able to see much on the left of the image here because that is in darkness. So there's some bright features here. Which should have been more methodical in my coming up north. Can we identify where we are, Julian?
No, we've gone past Kepler, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I think that's maybe Bressarion E and something. The only thing I could see that looks remotely like that.
Kepler. Just trying to find those two little craters and that.
Yeah, I think they're those two.
Which two?
Those Bressarion things.
Where do I need to go?
Oh, I think you've gone past it.
Oh.
Maybe not though. I might be totally wrong.
No, that's not those.
No. I think they're bigger than that.
Kepler, let's. It's like a whodunit.
Yeah.
Trying to work it out.
Can you put the phase brightness on that?
Possibly. Let's have a look.
Click sunlit region.
Yeah.
That helps.
Oh, it's updating. Right, so Copernicus. Oh, what are these two here? Potentially Kepler. So I came up here. Is there anything else along the terminator?
I think it's there. That's it.
What about
That's
this?
it there.
Yeah,
Oh, that looks.
yeah.
Yeah, that looks like it.
What's that say? Right, so there's a ridge. Yeah. Del Isil.
Oh, you're way up there. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Delisol diophantus of the equations. And Mons Delisol, which is that? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
scar.
Well, Mons is mountain in Moonspeak.
Okay, so it's probably a mountain rather than a depression.
And again, you can see a shadow. It's a shadow on the left of it.
Yeah, so it must be standing up. Yeah.
Right. Let's go a bit more north.
See if I can keep up with you this time. All right, here we are back at Sinus Iridium.
Ah.
We're just coming into it. That's Lunar 17 you got in the middle of the shot.
Right.
Wave, guys.
Yeah, so features tend to have several names there, sort of classical name, and then this has got the Bay of Rainbows, the common name. I don't know if anyone sort of Victorian astronomers were observing it and thought it had rainbow colours. I don't know.
Very colourful, is it really?
Not tonight. So now we're going above towards the pole. Let's drop the exposure. Still is a patch of cloud looking at the moon in the sky. It's a very thin veil of cloud.
You've got all sorts of craters up there.
Yeah.
And also the Grail B impact site. If you remember, there's a Grail, was it a moon mapping mission or something like that? But anyway, they splattered it into the moon at the end. That's where it hit.
Is that the one that they were looking for water?
Yeah, could well be.
There was one they impacted into the moon and they were looking for the
B.
signal of water. Right, let's keep going round. You can make out here some, let me drop the, looks like a ray pattern here from an impact. We're having a nice tour of the moon, even if we never saw the occultation.
No.
Now, I suspect we're going to lose a bit of definition and contrast now, just because the moon is so bright over this side.
Yeah.
Oh.
Was that Mare Chrysium?
Yes.
Just about keeping track with you.
Even with my frantic slewing.
Yeah.
So because of lunar libration, the fact that the moon appears to rotate or twist. Mare Crisium, the Sea of Crises, at times points more towards the Earth, and then other times rotates and points away.
Definitely wobbles around
Yeah, wobbles. That's a good.
because of the elliptical orbit it's in. It has to go faster at some points than others.
Right. Which law was that?
Oh, it's probably one of Kepler's, I should think.
We're now down at the south polar region.
Oh, now this is where they found water.
Right.
Some of these craters never see the light of day.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So there's Clavius.
Oh, yeah.
Again, because of the phase of the moon, it looks very different to when you might otherwise observe it.
Bit
And it's got
pockmarked, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got this sort of curved ring of larger to smaller craters. And obviously Clavius itself must be much older than these
Yeah.
impacts. Let me fiddle with the focus again.
Oh, yeah, that was nice and bright. Sharp for a minute.
Well, for a minute.
Well, yes, you've got to dodge between the seeings.
It's definitely Ripley, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, can you find us Tycho from here?
Tycho should be due north from there.
How north?
Not much.
So,
I think you may have gone too far. Yes, you've gone too far. Unless that's it.
well, that, what do you reckon?
Clavius. Right, it's just a bit north of there, I think. Yeah, no, you've gone too north, I think. There. That is in the middle.
Yeah. So it's very interesting again that at different phases, the craters look very different. And Tycho at the right phase is very bright and has got the tremendous ray pattern.
Yeah,
And then
you
at
can't see it
other
quite so
phase-
well.
No. So let's carry on up there. Oh. My handset's upside down, or something's upside down. Right, let's have a interesting little features here. Are you keeping up?
Just about. Yeah, I'm a bit lost in this.
Where it's all very flat and
Yes.
then we're back at
Back where we were, yes. Just off of the round at Enki again.
yeah.
So no gone past there. Yeah.
Here we have. That was a very quick tour.
Tour of the moon.
Well, let's go back to Plato. Everyone likes Plato. I think seeing the emergence of the star is even going to be even harder than the disappearance.
Is that on the lit side?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, yes.
And seeing as we missed the
The occultation, yes.
I think the probability of us seeing the other end is negligible. But we tried.
Yes. Got full points for that.
I can't actually. I presume that's a cloud I can see rather than a. Yeah, I think it must be. Now, the one nice thing about observing with the moon out is you get a bit of illumination with your kit, so you're not in the pitch black. Because when there's no moon, you need a head torch to see things. But with the moon, it's nice. You don't trip over wires so easily.
That's always a bonus. It can be very expensive tripping over wires.
Have you learnt any more lunar facts?
Well, I was just looking for Sea of Tranquility. That's quite a way away from there, though.
There is there's a strange light in the sky here. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's a UFO.
Oh, they've not come for you finally, then.
I think it must just be a cloud which is illuminated. But it looks like a very broad searchlight.
Ooh.
Now, is that Mars? I think that could be Mars. Will my scope get to there? It could be tricky. Typical. Well, we could do Mars another night.
Is it too low at the moment?
Well, no, it's high, but I've got a tree in the way.
Oh,
Yeah, and my table's in the way. Yeah, it's going to be.
Jupiter's right on the horizon now.
Yeah, Jupiter's gone behind another neighbour's house. Well, have you got something you can share with the audience while I try and get the scope on Mars?
Could try, yeah.
I need to do a bit of noisy manoeuvring of things. So if I go onto mute and have a go at getting onto Mars.
Right, can you see?
Quick map.
Quick map, there's Plato.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go onto mute for moments.
Okay. So this is the area we've been looking at. And see, this is where the Chinese rover landed compared to Plato, which is over here, and Cygnus Iridium, the Bay of Rainbows. And the other thing was Lunar 17, which also had a rover that landed over there. So if we just zoom out a bit, you can perhaps orient yourself a little. So there we go, there's the terminator along there. So this bit's in the dark. That should be where the star would have been. But got occulted. And it's presumably traversing across the moon at the moment. These red dots are the anything that's landed on the moon that we've sent. So I don't know what that one is. Oh, that's Bereshit. That's the Israeli mission to the moon that landed there. When I say landed, I mean crashed. It was supposed to soft land onto the moon, but it lost control at the last minute and just plummeted into it at quite considerable speed. These are the, so there's the Hadley Rill with the Apollo 15. So they walked along the Apollo 15, went to the Hadley Rill and looked around there. Come out again. I don't know what those two are. Lunar 21, that's a Russian one, I believe. And Lunar 2, that's another rover. But there we come down to, this is the Sea of Tranquility here, which is where the Apollo 11 landed, which is somewhere down here, I think. There we go. Apollo 11, down at the bottom of the Sea of Tranquility. You can see there's quite a few other things nearby. That's Surveyor 5, one of the American missions that went out there to see what the conditions were like. I guess what's that? It's Ranger 8. Right, I think that was a mapping mission that went around the moon. And quite often they, when it got to the end of the mission, they crashed it into the moon so that it wasn't a hazard to traffic anymore. And there's another one, Ranger 6. And what have we got over here as we come over to this side? Lunar 16, that's another Russian one. And Lunar 20. So we've covered quite a lot of the moon. And if we go back to what I was wittering about earlier, so there's Copernicus, see here. And then you can see all these red dots here. These are all the impact sites of the upper stages. So, oh, that's Apollo 14. But what do we got there? Oh, that's Apollo 12. Okay, I'm doing really well on this. Apollo 13, Saturn 5, stage 4B impact site. And there's one up here. Saturn 5, Apollo 16, stage 4 impact site. What's that one there? That's Surveyor 6. There's Apollo 14 impact site. So you can see they're all splattered across the equator of the moon. All these used bits of equipment, but better than being a hazard to traffic. The Ranger probe. And if we go down to the south, I don't think there's very much been to the south pole of the moon. Can't see any red dots there. Oh, there's one up there. What's that? Surveyor 7. The American landing mission. Coming back to Sea of Tranquility. Lunar 16. Sea of Crises, Lunar 23. Something else with it. Let's see what that is. Now, one of the missions, was it? It might even have been Apollo 12. Oh, that's Apollo 15. Apollo 12, I think, landed quite close to. That's Apollo 15 again. Oh, I really ought to know where I'm going. Surveyor 6. Apollo 16 crash landing stage. Apollo 14. One of them landed very close to the Surveyor mission. They actually went and picked some of it up. But, I've lost where I am now.
Well, we've managed to find Mars.
Oh, great. So I don't need to fill in with lots of waffle anymore.
You were doing such a good job.
So you got to try sharing that?
Let me just adjust the focus a little. That sign is in Britain. Looks like it.
So, okay, let me share the screen first and then Right. So,
Ooh, is that Mars?
yeah,
I can see features on it.
I know.
Oh, that's really good.
Jupiter the other night.
So let me just fiddle with the focus. I'll probably do is drop that down a bit more. So we need someone to get some ephemeris data to see what these features are on Mars.
All right, I'm just zooming in on it here now. Okay. Stop moving, Mars.
So I'm just using a smaller and smaller portion of the chip so we can get the fastest possible frame rate. So when you're observing, it's when you're imaging, it's good to have high gain generally. But when we're doing this kind of thing, the high gain seems to introduce too much noise. So
Just wondering if it's worth you sharing your screen with the optimization for video, because it doesn't look that great on YouTube compared to what it's appearing on your screen.
okay, let me do a new share, optimized video.
It's not made a great deal of difference, to be fair.
Oh. But there's definitely a dark feature. I wonder if that is Citrus Major.
I think it's Tharsis Ridge, Tharsis Rise.
So I have got an an IR let through filter on this. So this is, I can't see what 3. So this is only letting wavelengths above 800 nanometers through. So what I could do is,
Right.
let me, in fact,
Fall into the red. Yeah.
yeah. So let me go back to this and center a bit better. And what I'll do, so this is Mars with no filter.
Quite as clear as it.
No, so that's just a color camera, the 224 MC, with no filter. And then if I add an IR cut filter, it's, oh, in fact, you get a, you see the pole?
Yeah.
Top right.
Just about.
I wish my telescope was permanently mounted. It'd be so much easier. Can you get the impression sort of 1:30 of a white component being the pole?
Hardly.
Okay, I suspect it's not transmitting over the internet as well.
Now and again, I get.
So then if I go on another click on the filter wheel, this is now, I think this is, so this lets wavelengths above about 740 through.
Okay, so that's still red.
Yeah. And then one more, and then this is the more stringent or strict, where only about over 8, I think it's 802 nanometers.
Right.
And with planetary, it can just help steady the seeing, because not all the different wavelengths aren't trying to fight with each other. But that's one of the nicest views I've seen of Mars.
Yeah, it's very good.
So I will certainly capture some data on that. So what I'll do, I will reduce the amount of area that the sensor is using. Just going to have a fiddle around with the focus just to see if I can make it any better. Generally, I think it makes it worse. So that's bad. So it's somewhere in between those two extremes. It's very high. If anyone's got a view of their southeast out of a window, if they look southeast, it's probably 30 degrees above the horizon. The brightest object, apart from the moon, sort of yellowy orange in colour, and I can see refraction spikes, probably because my glasses are dirty. And that's Mars. Can you see it from home, Julian?
Yeah, I could see it earlier. Yeah, it's really quite bright at the moment, isn't it? It's pretty obvious.
So that possibly is about as good as the focus is going to get. So then,
Jeremy says you can see all sorts of bits. Certus Major, the polar cap. So
yeah,
he's better than I am.
I didn't know he was watching. If he was, I'd have behaved. So let's just do 2 minutes of capture. So because we're using, if you look here on the right, can you see this stylized image of the sensor of the chip of the camera? So I'm just using that little
tiny bit.
Yeah, and that means there's less data to transmit down the USB 3 lead.
Yeah.
So it can achieve frame rates. It's doing 570 frames per second, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Now my,
a lot of data there to work with.
Yeah, my polar alignment's not perfect, so I'm having to keep making small adjustments to keep it in.
What will you stack it with?
Auto stack it.
Auto stack it, right.
And what I could do is probably, well, Damien's going to talk to us in November, I think. Is it November?
Yeah. Was it December? Yeah. One of those two. Oh, yeah. No, I think it is November, isn't it?
That is a really good view of Mars.
Yeah, definitely.
So it's done 1 minute 25 and we've already got 50,000 frames.
Wow. Power of USB 3.
Now it looks to be dimming a bit. I wonder if there's some cloud. Yeah.
I think it's all right at the moment.
Well, it's definitely dimmed. What I might do is just stop that capture because I don't want to collect too much data unnecessarily. So that's a reasonably good image.
Yeah, you definitely see features on it.
So, well, it's 11 o'clock.
Wow, how time has flown.
You're having fun.
Are you completely frozen?
No, it's not too bad. I've got my Astro onesie on tonight.
Right.
And again, the headset's keeping my ears warm, which is really clever.
Oh, yeah. The tea's run out though.
Yeah, it has. But I think that we missed the occultation, but
Yeah.
we've seen Mars.
We toured the moon. That was fascinating. Thank you very much for setting that up.
Well, it's all right. Thank you for contributing, and thank you again to Richard. And
Yeah, thank you, Richard, for doing all the backroom stuff.
for Brendan sending helpful comments.
Yeah. Oh, is that Chris? Chris. Hey, well done.
Is Chris on the chat?
Chris is on the chat, yes.
Good.
Along with Shirley and Errol and Owen. Yeah, quite a few people. It's all worthwhile, doesn't it?
Well, it does. Has everyone looked out at Mars? They're 30 seconds behind, so
yeah,
we have to wait 30 seconds. Did you find any ephemeris of Mars?
Yes.
Is that something? Where did you find it?
So I've got it on Stellarium at the moment.
So I've got Stellarium open.
Yeah. So I think we've got Hellas Basin below.
Is that tweeting noise a bird?
Oh, I lost it. Come back. I didn't know that. You can click on bits of Mars on Stellarium and it actually tells you what you're looking at.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so again, what I need to do is somehow share my screen so the two
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
are visible. Can you see it?
Yeah.
On the screen?
Yes. Yeah, yes, you've got both of them there. So there's one upside down from the other.
Yeah, so let me flip it. Flip vertical.
Yeah, that's
Both. What does both do?
not far off, is it?
So presumably that is
Space and
yeah. Where's it gone?
space.
Come back, Mars.
Hit space.
What does space do?
It centers it in the screen.
Oh, good. What we should do is look for the moons.
Oh, Phobos and Deimos. They're very tiny.
Yeah, so that must be the Hellas Basin there.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, Phobos is magnitude 11. Deimos has gone out of shot. Come back.
Go on, let's see if we can get one of the moons.
They're both magnitude 11.
So
Yeah, talk to me about there.
I think that's a hot pixel, that one thing.
Phobos is magnitude 10, so 10.6. Oh,
What?
I thought I saw something then. Probably
I
your
saw
hot
a
pixel.
mouse. Where?
There on the stairs.
Right, let's go the other way then. How far do we need to go the other way?
Mouse is a bit further out.
Hit
Yeah.
space bar. So it's kind of following that line up there. And how many, let's work out how many. 1, 2,
2 or 3, 2.5 miles is.
yeah. So let's wrong way. So I think it's that line we need to follow. 1, that's 1, 2, 3. So about here.
Up there. Yeah.
Let's put the gain up. Let's put everything up. Let's go all out.
Go all out.
I can't see anything.
Oh, I think I can just see hot pixels.
There's plenty of those. Maybe the moons of Mars are going to elude us tonight. What I should...
Who was it who discovered them? One of the famous people.
Um,
Remember.
Hall. What was his name? Let me drop down. Let's go to a different filter. Or no filter. Are you looking up who discovered them?
I am, yes.
I don't think it was
Hall, you're right.
Barnard.
No, it's Hall. Oh,
Asaph Hall.
yeah. I do know that, what's his name? The one who wrote Gulliver's Travels. He predicted them.
Right.
Or he wrote about them. And then, somebody, I think it was Hall's wife actually, who told him, you know there are 2 moons of Mars. Why has nobody found them yet? Go off and find them.
Well, it's easier said than done. No. Have we lost any viewers yet because it's so boring?
Ah, yeah, Jeremy's there.
What's he said?
Asaph Hall, yeah, he was. We should have had him on here to fill in all the gory details that I have to go and Google.
Right, what I might do is another imaging run. Now that bit of cloud's gone.
(1877) they were discovered.
Right.
16th of August.
And where was he?
At the old Naval Observatory in Foggy Bottom.
Foggy Bottom.
Foggy Bottom, that's where the intelligence community live now. So.
Right.
Or at least some of them. I told my assistant, George Anderson, to whom I had shown the object, that I thought I discovered a satellite of Mars. I told him to keep quiet, as I did not wish to say anything on the matter. thing was too good to keep, and I let it out myself. On the 17th of August, between 1 and 2 o'clock, while I was reducing my observations, Professor Newcomb came into my room to eat his lunch, and I showed him my measures of the faint object near Mars, which proved it was moving with the planet.
Simon Newcomb. Well, that's meant to be in focus, but I'm not convinced. I haven't got my dew shield on either, and I think there's a bit of dew forming. You can tell this was a well-prepared event.
Ah, yes.
No, I think that first run is going to be the best. Right then, Julian, I think that is it.
Right. Well, thank you very much, both of you, for bearing it against the cold and the lack of tea.
Yes, only one cup.
Only one cup.
I'm very grateful to you and for people dialing in to miss an occultation. It's awful because we saw the star at 9:30.
Oh, and then I
I
couldn't
think
find it again.
no, I think it was too close.
Perhaps there's a large lump of lunar material in the way.
Yeah. We'll have a go with an occultation another time.
Right.
And we'll go to the star much earlier.
Track it. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. From West Bridgeford, from me, it's good night.
It's good night from him.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Julian. Good night, James. Don't forget, everyone, tune in on Thursday. We've got Steve Barrett talking about the Hubble Space Telescope. So see you all then. Good night.
Good night.